In the lore, we find the Commando as a recon mech. That's its primary role. And certainly light mechs are used to skirmish. They're used for recon. But in terms of on the hex map, I find myself using the Commando as either a light mech hunter or in kind of medium to lower battle value games where the return firepower might not be as much. An interesting bodyguard mech to kind of take advantage of any weaknesses or exploits in the lance working together. Now, if we're going to look at pure recon, we're going to put aside for the second where you can do it better, do it more efficiently, do it cheaper with battle value, just to take maybe a hovercraft. But that involves combined arms, and there might be some mobility issues depending on the terrain. One of the advantages that we see with mechs is, for the most part, they can easily navigate all terrain, and some mechs are incorporating jump jets. So with that, if I'm going to have a recon mech, usually it's something like the Locust, where I want to put it out there, but I don't want to engage in any possibility. And if I am engaging with that medium laser, assuming I'm not using a variant mech, then we're looking at the perspective of I'm just trying to drive off another mech. I'm trying to push off that other light mech. I'm not trying to get into any type of back and forth. Well, the stock Commando, where we're looking at 2 short-range missile systems and a medium laser, I want to get in there. I want to utilize those weapons. I want to mix it up. So in terms of being aggressive with that, it's just fast enough to get into medium range against some of the faster machines out there. And if we're talking about a light mech, multiple hits quickly wear down a light mech. So the spread of the 6-range missiles, the 4-pack missiles, spreading out with that medium laser, 2 things happen. That spread means I'm going to hit more parts of the mech and punch through armor quicker, but also having those 3 weapons keyed in at that range means I'm probably going to hit with something. While the return fire means, in theory, I've got just enough speed to stack those modifiers that it's going to make it a little bit harder for that light mech to engage or drive myself off. So I see the Commando as bullying and pushing around most light mechs for that lower battle value. Could I send my Griffin out to punish that light mech? Absolutely. Could I send out another medium, a Wolverine? It'll easily tear up a light mech. But if that light mech keeps running and gunning, that means that battle value on my medium is not committed to, say, taking on another medium or adding some weight with a heavy to push on another heavy. The Commando works with that really, really well. Now, there are certain machines that, as the Commando pilot, I kind of want to stay away from them. The Jenner, the Panther, machines that can dish out some serious firepower and dish it out quicker than it can take it back. But that spread of the 6 and the 4-pack, that medium laser, that's going to push most light mechs away, hunt them down. Now, in terms of a bodyguard mech, a great example of this, one that I commonly use, is I'll have my heavy mech, maybe a Warhammer or a Marauder, pushing its way forward and engaging. And then I get into that locked kind of optimal spot for the weapon system where, as I engage another machine, another mech, another target, the bodyguard mech will then break off, so it's a secondary mech, usually a hunchback. I mean, I love autocannon 20s, but the hunchback wants to work in close. And that mech, that bodyguard mech, will break off of the lance and now try to outflank, get rear, get side, essentially kind of catch you between the heavy with the PPCs and autocannons and medium lasers blasting and having to deal with more medium lasers or that autocannon 20 coming at you from the side or the back. But that comes at battle value. And on a side note, for some framework, one of the things that we're looking to do with your mech collection is come up with tactics, base Battletech tactics, and then be able to scale. We all have our favorite mechs and machines, be able to scale them up and down based on the battle value. Because this example of if I take a Warhammer and if I take a Hunchback as my bodyguard mech, that combo works. But in a lower battle value game, yeah, I can fit that in, but I'll be outnumbered in initiative, or my opponent will have more stuff that I can't necessarily drive off altogether. So if it's a lower battle value game, what mechs, what machines, what tools, what tech can I utilize to kind of have that bodyguard principle, how it works? We also see this where, another sidebar, if I'm putting out a lot of long-range missiles and it's a high battle value game, I'll go with all longbows. Absolutely. If it's a lower battle value game, or I should say a medium-high battle value game, instead of 4 longbows, I might drop down to 2 and then take 2 SRM carriers. If it's a lower battle value game, just to get the missiles on the table, I might drop all those mechs and take 2 short-range missile carriers. So we want to see that perspective of the Commando as an interesting bodyguard mech and doing it for less battle value. When I do that, usually it's a Wolverine, a great, fantastic trooper mech, solid. I push that up, and we've got the Commando working the sides, ready to exploit any possibility.